A very good morning to all of you students. How are you all? Hope all of you are fine. And tomorrow is a holiday. Yes? So you will play and enjoy. You will not do any studies. But today, students, it's a study time because it is Saturday today. Yes? So you have to do studies today. But tomorrow you can play because tomorrow is Sunday. Yes? You can play, you can do whatever you want to do, any activity, arts, drawing, whatever you want to do, you can do. But today it's Saturday and we have to study today. Yes? So, with this, let me start our social science class. And in social science, we are studying chapter number 1. Yes? And subject social and political life 1. Unit 1, diversity, and chapter 1, understanding diversity. Yes, students, in this chapter we have completed the chapter discussion. We have also discussed about the activities which were in the book in the online class. Yes, and you have to do all those activities which are there in the book in the blue box. You have to do those activities in the notebook of social and political life 1. Yes, but today what we will do, you would be thinking, today we will do the book exercise and some important terms, keywords for which the words which of which the meaning you should know. Yes, so these important terms also you have to write in the notebook so that you should know the word of this, the meaning of this word. Okay, students, so let's start. Bring your book, social and political life 1, and bring your notebook of social and political life 1 so that you can write these important terms and the book exercise in the notebook. Write it very clearly, very neat and clean handwriting should be there, and write slowly, slowly. Write correctly. Okay? So, today's date you will write in the notebook 25/7/2020. Chapter 1. Then you will write a topic, the name of the chapter, understanding diversity. What you will write? Understanding diversity. And then you will write important terms. Okay? And what are the important terms? First, you will write diversity. What is diversity, students? Now you would be knowing. Yes? So let me tell you what is diversity. Diversity includes everything that we are and that we are not. Diversity means all those differences that make us unique, including race, color, language, nationality, religion, gender, socioeconomic status, our backgrounds, age, physical, and mental ability. All these things includes diversity. So diversity include everything that we are or we are not. Yes, for example, if we want to take an example of diversity, a classroom is a very good example of diversity. Our neighborhood is a very good example of diversity. Uh, a classroom full of children of different background, culture, religion, etc. is an example of diversity. Yes, our country India is a very good example of diversity. We have different kind of people, different religion people, background people. Yes, cultural differences are there, regional differences are there. So all these are the example for diversity. So to write this, the important term. Second important term is heritage. And heritage is a full range of our inherited traditions, monuments, objects, and culture. So, what is heritage, students? Heritage is a range full of inherited whatever our ancestors gave us, whatever our parents, our grandparents gave us. That is that is called heritage. Heritage is full of ranges of our inherited traditions, monuments, objects, and culture, whatever our parents, our grandparents gave us in the form of traditions, monuments, objects, or culture. That all is called as heritage. So you have to write this in the notebook and you should know what does this heritage word mean. Cultural, third important term is cultural, which comes many times in this chapter, understanding diversity. So what is cultural? Cultural is the ways of living. Culture is the way of living developed. Sorry, let me edit better. This slide, this is not cultural, it is culture. Okay, what it is? Culture. Yes. So, what is culture? Let me again tell you. It is not cultural, it is culture. So, culture means culture is the way of living developed by a particular group of people, society or community, including customs, practice, places, objects and value. So what is culture? Culture is the way of living which is being developed by a particular group of people, society or community, which includes custom, practices, places, objects and value, which they all do in a same way or in a same manner. Creed. What do you mean by creed? It also comes that diversity includes creed, race, religion, yes, background. So creed, what is creed? Creed is a system of religious belief and faith. So whatever religious practices, belief we have, all those are called creed. Okay? So this you have to write in the social and political life 1. I will share the PDF also with you of this book exercise so that you can see from there and then you can write in the notebook. Question and answers. We will do now the book exercise which is at the back of the chapter 1. Yes, question and answers. Draw up a list of the different festivals celebrated in your locality. Which of these celebrations are shared by members of different regional and religious communities? So we have to find out which are the festivals which every religion or religious community celebrate. Some of the festivals celebrated are Onam, Diwali, Holi, Krishna Janmashtami, and Christmas. People across religious lines celebrate festivals like Onam, Holi, and Christmas. So whether they are of different religions, then also people celebrate Onam, Holi, and Christmas. Yes, New Year. Yes. So, what do you think living in India? Question second. What do you think living in India with its rich heritage of diversity adds to your life? So, what do you think, students, that living in India, that we are up, citizen of India, what does our rich heritage of diversity adds in our life? What values does this diversity give us? Yes. So the answer is in 2 points. First point, we learn different languages from our friends. Yes, we enrich our lives by getting to know the different cultural traditions which are followed in different regions. We learn from the different religious rituals that are observed by our friends and neighbors. So we also learn different religious rituals, traditions. So as we are having different religion, caste, practices, so we are able to know each other's religion, each other cultures, each other traditions. Yes, this is something which adds value to our life. Yes, so you have to write answer number 2. Now, question number 3. Do you think the term unity in diversity is an appropriate term to describe India? What do you think Nehru is trying to say about Indian unity in the sentence quoted above from his book, The Discovery of India? Yes. So, what do you think that the term unity in diversity is an appropriate term described to our country India? What do you think Nehru is trying to say about Indian unity in the sentence above from his book, The Discovery of India? Yes, yes. So he Nehru. Let's see what is the answer. First point you will write. It is definitely an appropriate word. Yes, to describe India. Our country has a huge population with people from many different cultural backgrounds, different religions. Second point, people speaking different languages, people following different traditions. Yet this huge diverse nation is always united and moving forward in the path of progress. So after having so many differences, different type of languages, religion, tradition, culture, we as a Indian are always united and are moving towards the path of progress. Yes. Nehru is trying to say that tolerance is very much ingrained in every Indian citizen. So Nehru ji was trying to say that tolerance, we have a patience, tolerance power to welcome each and everyone's religion. We have a tolerance, or we have a feeling, or we have a respect towards each other traditions, towards each other religions, towards each other practices which we are doing. We have a full respect and we welcome each other with full gratitude and love. And that is the reason we celebrate each other's festivals also. We go in each other's home, and we see and practice each other's rituals and practices also. Yes, so this is the answer for question number 3, that Nehru is trying to say that tolerance is very much ingrained in every Indian citizen. Yes, students? Underline the lines in the poem sung after the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, which according to you reflects India's essential unity. So we have already discussed about the song which was sung just after the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So in that poem, which is the line which tell us the India is having unity. Which is that line which shows us that India is having unity? The lines are, the blood of Hindus and Muslims flows together today, is the line in the poem which reflects India's essential unity. Yes, that the blood which is going in the Hindu religion and the Muslim religion flows together today. When the fire was being burnt by the Britishers in Jallianwala Bagh, all the people, whether they are Muslim, Sikh, Isai, any religion, they were killed in that fire, they were burnt in that fire, and the blood was flowing in such a way of Hindu and Muslim, that they were united, which shows that they were united. Yes, the blood of Hindus and Muslims flows together today, is the line in the poem which reflects India's essential unity. Okay, students. Now, question number 5. We will move to question number 5. What is question number 5? Choose another region in India and do similar study of the historical and geographical factors that influence the diversity found there. Are these traditions and geographical factors connected to each other? How? Student, this question you have to do by yourself. Okay, but I have given you the answer also. If those who cannot write it by yourself, you can write this answer also. But if you want, you can write by yourself. What you have to do, you have to compare the geographical feature and the historical features of two different regions. So what in geographical features, you have to write about the state, where that state is, that state is in towards the north or whatever. So you have to just write whether it is a mountain region, whether it is a desert region, whether it is a hilly region, whether it is having a coastal areas. So you have to mention the geographical features about that particular region. Then in historical features, you can compare the historical features of two region with the help of, like, the food they eat, the dresses they wear, the crops they grow. Okay, the food habits they have, the occupation they do, like in Ladakh the people are doing, they have sheeps and goats, and they take out the wool and make the pashmina shawl. Same way, if you go in Rajasthan, they have camel, and they have camel, and they take out the skin of the camel and use for different things. So like this you can compare two different regions, like geographical factors, all features also you can compare of the two regions, and the historical features also you can compare of the two regions. And then you can conclude that are the geographical features same of both the regions, or the historical factors are the same for a particular regions. Like if you take Rajasthan and you take Tamil Nadu, so there will be historical factors are different, because the way of living life of the people are different. In Rajasthan there is very hot region is there, right? In the Tamil Nadu, you will see the coastal hot and humid region is there, because that is a coastal area. There the occupation is fishing in Tamil Nadu, but in Rajasthan their occupation is what they do, They rear the cattle, they have camels with them. Yes, they have desert sheep with them. So here the water is not available. They use the water with the help of, they use the water with the canals. Yes, in Rajasthan. But if we talk about Tamil Nadu, it is nearby the coastal area. So water is available here. Abundant water is available. So like this, you can, compare the life of two different regions. And in geographical feature, you can compare the the place where they are, whether they are of mountainous region, whether there is desert region, whether there is, plain region, whether that there is plateaus, whatever, the region is, you can write that. Plus in geographical features you can also write the climate, what type of climate is in that particular region. By this you can do a comparative study of both the region. That is upon you. If you want to write by yourself, you can take any two region and then you can do the comparison. If you cannot write, then you can see the answer from here and then you can write the answer, this answer, and you have to learn this answer. Okay, so let me speak about Ladakh. Answer 5 first, you have to compare, you have to write about Ladakh. The same way you will write for if you choose any other regions. Okay, so geographical, if I am talking about Ladakh, geographical features, we will talk first about the geographical features of Ladakh. Ladakh is a desert in the mountains in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. Very little agriculture is possible here. Since this region does not receive any rain, it is covered with snow for a large part of the year. People graze sheep for wool, wear wool, eat milk, butter, cheese. People own yaks and goats also here. If we talk about the historical features of Ladakh, Ladakh was considered as a good trade route as it had many passes through which caravans traveled to, which is today called Tibet. Now we will talk about Kerala. Kerala's geographical features, if we talk about, Kerala is a state in the southwestern corner of India. It is surrounded by the sea on one side and hills on the other side. A number of spices like pepper, cloves, and cardamoms are grown on the hills here. If we talk about the historical features of Kerala, it is spices that made this region an attractive place for traders. Jewish and Arab traders were the first to come here. The apostle of Christ, St. Thomas, believed to have come near here nearly 2000 years ago, and he brought Christianity to India. Portuguese discovered the sea route to India from Europe. Because of all these various historical influences, people in Kerala practice different religions such as Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, and Buddhism. So these were the geographical and historical features of Ladakh and Kerala. Now we will compare. So this is second answer of the question number 5, that compare the historical and geographical feature of those regions. Both regions were influenced by Chinese and Arab traders. It was geography of Kerala which allowed for the cultivation of spices, and the special geographical location of Ladakh and its wool that drew traders to these regions. Yes, thus history and geography are often tied in the cultural life of a region. So it is rightly said that the historical features or factors and the geographical factors are together tied up with each other for the cultural life of a particular region. So yes, so you can write this answer also, or you can make the answer by yourself also. Okay, students, by this there is a homework for you all. And what is the homework for today? Write book exercise of chapter 1, Understanding Diversity in Social and Political Life 1 notebook. So whatever we have done, the book exercise, the important terms, you have to write that in the Social and Political Life 1 notebook. Okay, students, with this, let me thank you all for your patience. Yes, and have a nice day and enjoy your holiday, which is tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow is Sunday. So do your work today, and tomorrow you can do whatever you want. Yes, thank you.